Egypt, officially known as the Arab Republic of Egypt, is a country spanning the northeast corner of Africa and linking the southwest corner of Asia. They have one of the longest histories of any country, dating back to the 6th to the 4th millennia BC. Islam is the official religion of Egypt, and Arabic is the official language spoken and written. Egypt is the most populous country in North Africa and the Middle East, with 95 million inhabitants. The flag of Egypt is a tricolor consisting of the three equal horizontal red, white, and black bands of the Egyptian revolutionary flag, dating back to the 1952 Egyptian Revolution. The flag bears Egypt's national emblem, the Egyptian eagle of Saladin, centered in the white band.
Music is an integral part of the Egyptian arts and culture. Egyptian music has a rich mixture of Mediterranean, African, and Western elements. Singing, clapping of hands, and ceremonies were very common in the Egyptian music culture. The highest status for a musician in ancient Egypt was the temple musicians. Temple musicians played music for a particular god or goddess, or someone in a high position in the culture. Musicians who played music as entertainment or who played regularly were seen as lower on the social scale, unless they were professional. Egyptian music uses a minor pentatonic scale of 5 tones without half tones.
Skemet and bes were sometimes associated with percussion instruments, in particular with frame drums. The sitram and the manat, which are two small flat slabs of wood or ivory similar to a castnet, were generally dedicated to Hathor, the goddess of banquets and music making. Tambourines were either round or squared, played by hand, and were used mainly during popular or religious festivals. Harp developed from hunting bows and used since the Old Kingdom were triangular or arc-shaped. They usually had 8 to 12 strings made of animal gut, and both men and women played them. Flutes were among the first musical instruments used. Double flutes were made at first of 2 parallel pipes, but later the 2 pipes were separated and set at an acute angle. They are still used in Egypt today. Researchers have discovered the musical instruments through the use of hieroglyphics.
In the early 21st century, there was an increasing interest in the music of the Pharaonic period. Many Egyptian musicians and musicologists, led by musicology professor Kari El-Malt of Helwan University in Cairo, began to reconstruct musical instruments of ancient Egypt. This project is still ongoing.
There were many occasions for ancient Egyptians to display their joy of life through dance. One of them was the enthronement of a new king. Unfortunately, very little is known about the specific dances because the only form of documentation is through the use of hieroglyphics. There are a number of gods that have links to music. The most obvious would be Hathor and Bes, and music was personified by the goddess named Merit. Since gods take many forms, it is the duty of the musicians to link human and God together. Egyptian choreography appears to have been complex. Dances could be expressive, similar to modern ballet or gymnastics, including splits, cartwheels, and backbends. The dancers themselves were often groups, but only one gender at a time, with little to no evidence of males and females dancing together. The steps were choreographed not to echo one another, but often in more recent dance movements. Each person has their own gestures and positions to make on their own, but each is working together in a very specifically organized way. Many cultures have very specific and often elaborate dance costumes. The clothes worn by Egyptian dancers were hardly elaborate or involved even to call them an actual costume.
Although there is very little known about the specific dances performed in ancient Egypt, Elizabeth Artemis Murat, a professional dancer and dance scholar, believes that there are 6 different types of ancient Egyptian dances. She categorized them as religious dances, banquet dances, non-religious festival dances, harem dances, combat dances, and street dances. Egyptians believed that these were crucial to a successful outcome of any religious event or funerary rite.
The Zar is an Egyptian dance ritual that helps release a spirit or demon that possesses an individual, most often a woman. The spirit is called Jinn, which translates to genie. The Zar has a very specific drum rhythm that goes dum, tek, dum, tek. The Zar has been part of Egyptian culture since ancient times and has since become popular in the contemporary urban culture of Cairo.
Hassam Ramzi is one of the most well-known musicians from Egypt. He was born in Cairo, and his musical career began early when at the age of 3 he was given his first drum, an Egyptian tabla. A move to Saudi Arabia led him to join with many Bedouin tribes, which gave the young Hassam a rich insight into the cultural origins of Middle Eastern music and became the inspiration for many of his later rhythmic directions. As he began looking for new dimensions of percussive sounds, he found himself turning full circle back to his first love, the Egyptian drums and the thrilling dance rhythms of the Middle East. Hassam then incorporated all of his rhythmic experience into creating a new sound that is heard on hundreds of the world's leading album records today.
Hassam Ramzi is a percussionist, composer, and producer. Therefore, he is one of the most treasured musicians of Egypt. In 1987, Hassam Ramzi recorded his first solo album, An Introduction to Egyptian Dance Rhythms. This was the first break from his successful careers as one of the most sought-after session percussionists of his generation. The club dance scene of 2001 was taken by storm with Hassam's #1 hit, Edeni, that has topped the dance charts worldwide. He has his own school, the Drumsy School of Music and Dance, that teaches belly dancing and Egyptian rhythm and music. Hassam is known worldwide for creating string arrangements and percussion and produced many songs for world-leading artists. Hassam has built his own state-of-the-art recording environment, the Drumsy Studio, in which he has the latest in recording technology mixed in with old and unique sounds of the best names in recording equipment. Hassam himself released 20 albums of Egyptian dance music for Ark Music, and in November 2001, at the label's 25th anniversary, he was awarded a special platinum disc for being their top-selling artist with over 200,000 sales. With his album Rock the Tabla, Hassam was nominated for Best Artist in the Songlines Music Awards in 2012, an accolade which he calls a great honor.
Bahlam Beek is Hassam's most popular song that was released in 1994. It has no lyrics. However, the song is supposed to use percussion elements to provoke belly dancing. Hassam's music is definitely Egyptian, but it has many Western influences.
The following is an excerpt from Bahlam Beek by Hassam Ramzi.